Good morning. Welcome to rainy, wet Winnipeg. There be no sunrise to show you this morning. Oh, I see my neighbor is just leaving to go get his coffee from Timmy's. That's Tim Hortons. Yeah. Well, sometimes he happens to look in the window and anyway, that was just a coincidence. It wasn't planned. Yeah, nothing here is scripted. Okay, now what are we gonna do? Yesterday, I had failed to wash my parts. Now, I've got to make more of an effort to do this. It's not that hard. You know, I have a larger ultrasonic cleaner than the one we used yesterday. And I was thinking about that actually this morning. I was thinking, why couldn't I take these sprues that come out, and they end up being about this big by about this big, but they are generally designed in such a way that a person can cut them and leave all the parts still attached to the sprue, and then they would drop down into my larger ultrasonic cleaner, and then put the individual pieces in that particular bag, like the A sprue, the B sprue, and so on. I don't know, it's a thought. Now there is another thing I could do. I could take a tray and I could just lay the entire sprue into this tray of hot, not boiling hot, but hot soapy water, and then take a paintbrush, you know, like something like this that is very soft, and just sort of brush the boy, I don't know, some of the parts on those sprues, I think that this would actually snap them off, so maybe that's not a good idea. The ultrasonic cleaner is the best, providing you don't do it too long, because I do believe that I don't think that the soapy water dissolves the plastic. I don't think that happens. But I think what happens is the vibration, metal, sort of like metal fatigue or plastic fatigue or bending fatigue or whatever. It is actually bending the part very slightly. At least the very fine ones it is. The larger surfaces like this, well, the cavitation bubbles are happening on the outside. They're not really bending anything there. I kind of understand how this works. It'd be interesting to be able to actually see it in a microscope, slowed down thousands of times, how these bubbles form and then cavitate, these vacuum bubbles. That would be really interesting. I wonder if somebody's actually tried to do that. There are incredibly high-speed cameras available, and if you could hook one up onto a macro lens with lots of light, on the other hand, it could be that these cavitating bubbles happen so fast that even a high-speed camera can't catch them. I don't know. All I know is that it actually works. So, and at least it's been my experience that an ultrasonic cleaner will remove mold release. What helps though is that you use warm soapy water to dissolve the grease. You know, I've often wondered, what would isopropyl work in an ultrasonic cleaner, or is there a danger that you're going to cause an explosion because, you know, 99% isopropyl, which is right here. Okay, it's actually flammable. You know, you could use something like this for like a Bunsen burner. At least I think you could. Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm starting to think out loud again, and when I do that, I often don't make a whole lot of sense. Okay, we got 5 little parts here that we're going to clean. What I will do is with this one here that we had all that problem with yesterday, and maybe I'll dig out some of the old footage and we'll You can see on it where the greasy spots were causing the paint to bead, like as I said, like water on a freshly waxed car. That's what we were seeing. Um, I used to have a problem with that down in the workshop with woodworking with varathane, and I would go to put the second or the third coat of varathane on. Like I would sand in between, and then I would put the next coat on, and about the third coat, you would see the varathane separating, and I could never figure out why is it doing that. Uh, Maybe somebody knows. They're like, what could have I done to so that my varathane second, third, fourth coat would go on and be an even layer of varathane instead of separating. Okay, here we are. We're thinking again, Ron. Stop thinking. Okay, let's recompose and do something. Um, the walkers may or may not have come by. They generally come by right about now. They probably will have had umbrellas because it is actually, well, it was raining. It sort of, I can't really see the drops in the street. It just doesn't matter. Let's recompose and get on with it here. I don't have any other news. According to the weather people and the radar that I saw this morning, weather radar, it doesn't look like I'm going to be getting out this afternoon, but we'll see. Hey, yeah, I'm gonna go out every day I can. Oh, that reminds me, got a comment from a viewer, and he said, now I don't know if he was a viewer from the Model Ship show or if he's a viewer from the Honda Rebel episodes. Uh, Anyway, he said that he used to bike around Winnipeg when he was younger years ago. And then he named the name of the street that his brother lives on, so I Googled it, and sure enough, it's not that far from here. I've been probably within half a kilometer of it. And I was thinking it might be kind of fun to make a little side trip and go down that street just for the fun of it. Yeah. Oh, let's recompose. Okay, change in plans. I think I'm going to take out the extra 20 minutes or so and spray these pieces. Now, I know what I should have done is sprayed all of them, but I didn't. Yeah, this is the one here that was beading, and I think it wouldn't have mattered if I had to try to spray it or brush it. I think I still would have had beading going on. So there's this piece, there's this piece, and then there's these three smaller pieces. Now, as for the three smaller pieces, okay, this one here, it doesn't seem to be particularly different on either end. Just let me move in a little bit here. All right, if we take it and I hold it with these other tweezers, okay, it actually plugs in, I believe, right there, like that. Then this one, it goes in this other hole right here. Okay, what I'm trying to say is that I think that I can probably support these pieces in something. Yeah, it kind of wants to stay. Okay, so you can see where they're supposed to go. So in other words, if I was to just take a self-locking tweezer and just grab it just at the very end, like where it is going to plug in, maybe even more at the end, then it doesn't matter if the spray doesn't get right there, because it's going to be down in the hole anyway, and the melding effect is going to probably, because I always have a tendency to overglue, so we are going to have the paint sort of blend in. And okay, let's stop talking here. Let's set up with our airbrush and do it the way I should have done it in the first place. Okay, I did shake this up real good in the Yamato room, but we'll just give it a quick shake here. And I did thin it slightly. I don't think we added thinner to this one yet, so it is now thinned. Okay, I don't think we're going to need more than that. That's pretty much full there. Well, probably 2/3 full. Now, if Missy the dog happens to come by right now, she's going to be out of luck because I am not going to the door. Once I start this, I don't want to quit. And the idea is if I keep the part right underneath this, you should be able to see it. I've got my airbrush compressor set for a regulator set for about 12 pounds. I think that should be good. Okay, now what do I need to do here? I suppose we just test it and make sure. Oh, I want to take my needle cap off. And that way there's less chance of me getting tip drying going on. That's just my opinion. Now, if you've watched Jason's tutorial, he will have explained why it's a good idea to leave the needle cap on, because the needle cap helps to atomize the flow. And of course, a person does have to be careful that you don't bend your tip. So that's another reason why you want to leave it on. I'm just taking it off because for me, taking it off works better. So that's just my opinion. I am not a professional by any means. Okay, this should spray okay. Let's just give it a little test here first. Looks good to me. All right, we are going to swing around here a little bit, and then we are going to zoom in. Now hopefully I can remember to keep my parts underneath that, in other words right here. We'll start with this little guy right here. And put the fan on. Now, if you will remember, this is the one that we had trouble with the paint beading. What I'm trying to do is get the light reflecting off of the surface. Okay, I think that's going to be good once it's dry. Looks like it's on there a little bit heavy. Yes, it is, but hey. Hello, Missy. Come on in.
It's a wet old world.
It's a wet world. We have a soggy dog, do we?
Very soggy doggy.
A soggy doggy? You know, you're a little bit damp, but you're not too bad. At least you're not like you just came out of the lake or something. Okay, here you go. Like that one? Is that one okay? Well, you'll forgive me if I don't come outside today.
Yeah. It's not raining currently. Maybe a slight drizzle.
A slight drizzle? But
Yeah, I don't know about the biking today.
I don't know about it either. Well, a slight drizzle I can handle. What's the matter, Missy? You don't like that one? The tail isn't going quite as hard as usual. I think the rain is slowing it down.
Oh, she doesn't like the rain. Otherwise, she peed on the front lawn and she didn't want to go past your place, really. When it comes to rain, there's no Labrador Retriever in her. I think she's all poodle.
You're all poodle, are you? You're all poodle, Missy, huh? Oh, there you go. Yeah, I don't think I'll be moving my car today. May as well just leave it here.
Yeah, I noticed this morning it hadn't been moved.
No.
not feeling a lot of optimism.
Oh, we saw you leave to go to Timmy's. I said to the viewers, oh, there goes my neighbor off to Timmy's.
Yeah, I slept in. I mean, the cloud's so thick that it was dark a little longer.
Okay. Okay. There you go. Yes.
Uncle Ron. Uncle Ron's the best.
Oh, see you later.
Thanks for your kindness.
Oh, you're welcome. My pleasure. My pleasure. Yeah, Missy the dog. Missy the dog. Now, Missy actually came by quite a while ago. And a fair amount of time has happened here. This stuff here is probably dry, I would think. Although, if I get the light just right, it almost looks like it might still be a little bit wet in some places. So I'm going to just leave it for a while before I try to mount these parts on here. Now speaking of dry, I don't know if you can see it, but the streets are dry. Hey, I don't mind when the weatherman is wrong in my favor. Yeah, I think I'm probably going to get out this afternoon, all being well. I haven't checked the radar though since early this morning. Early this morning there was this huge mass about, I'm guessing 300 kilometers by 200 kilometers, and it was just moving slowly over Winnipeg. But I think it's probably passed over now because, hey, like I say, it's drying up. Okay, enough about the weather. I talk about the weather way too much. We'll take a nice close look at this, at these tomorrow. We'll put the macro lens on and we'll just move right in, and you can be sure I'm going to rotate them. Yeah, I'm gonna call it quits here and wind this up. The airbrush worked really good. You know that cheap TimberTech airbrush. It's my go-to airbrush now. That's my own personal choice. Even though the Iwata cost, well, it wasn't 10 times as much, but for all the parts you get for it, yeah, I think if I was to get the Iwata with all the 3 different size nozzles and 3 reservoir cups, you know, like it would probably be 10 times as much, and the cheap one works better, at least for me. And maybe it's just me. You know, I don't want to badmouth Iwata because there's people that love them. So anyway, yeah, if you're thinking about well, somebody actually asked me, what airbrush do you have? Well, I got that TimberTech from Amazon, and the price was right. And I'm using Windex to clean it. I'm thinking to myself, well, if the ammonia in the Windex is going to take the finish off of the airbrush, I don't care. I can get another complete airbrush for, what, $30 or less? And that's Canadian. Okay, I'm going to wind her up here. Thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we're going to see you tomorrow.